Hello and good evening, everyone. If you can hear me, we can start our class today. Okay, Mr. Mobin, can you hear me? All right. Okay, today is our third class, and first I want to review of the last previous class, and then we will continue by talking about how to reviewing literature for today. All right. Any of a student can tell me that what we talk about last session? Dear student, any of you can you tell me about the last session outline? All right, I think you are not prepared yet now. Okay, no problem. I will give you an overview and then I continue by new slides. So for first class, we talk about the meaning of research, and we talk about dimension of research. We explain that what is scientific research, and also I gave you the introduction to the research process and a meaning of business and management research. And for the second class, I mean last week, we talk about the research topic, as Mr. Mervis mentioned now in chat box. Yes, we talk about that how we can choose the topic for our research as a first step, because I told you that first step is that you should choose the topic for your research. So I told you that what is the good research topic, how can you choose the good topic for your research, and how can you generating the idea and then turn this idea to the topic, okay? And also we talk a lot about the research question, research objective, and research problem and problem statement. And finally, I gave you the background of research and that how can you put the chapters in the research, and how can you arrange the chapters, and I gave you the description about table of contents as a sample, and also how you can write the research proposal. Okay, so as I told you, the research, the whole research includes 5 chapters. So the first chapter is about introduction and background of your research, that is including a research question, research problem, and research objective. That we talked about these parts last week. Now for the second chapter, as I mentioned, is it about it is about the literature review, okay? So today we want to talk about the chapter 1 of your research, meaning literature review, how you can review the literature, okay? This is very important part in your research, and if, for example, your research is about 70 pages, at least half of it should be for research, for the literature review, the second part. The first chapter for introduction, you can put just 10 pages enough, and then the most important part is the literature review that should be around 30 pages, and the rest of 30 can be divided to chapter 4 and chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5. Because this chapter is the longest chapter in your research, when I said the longest chapter, it's not a rule, but most of the time like this, me as a supervisor of your research, like that you focus on the chapter 2, and I accept chapter 1 only in 10 pages, not more than, because chapter 1 should be give the abstract information, okay? All the explanation should be in other chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5, all right? Let's start the literature review slide. Any question up to here? If you have any question, you can ask me now. If no, we can continue to the newest slide. All right, all of you can hear me very well, yes? Okay, I hope today we have a better class than last week, because last week some of the students got problems. All right, so we want to talk and have a discussion about chapter 2 for today, literature review. Okay. The outline is critically reviewing the literature, meaning process, approach, skills, and sources. These are the 4 parts that you need for reviewing the literature. Know about these 4 parts, okay? So, why do we review the literature, okay? To conduct a preliminary search of existing material. This is very important, that when you want to do the research, first you should know about the existing material, existing information, all right? And then to organize valuable ideas and findings, to identify other research that may be in progress, to generate research ideas, to develop a critical perspective. So when you are doing the research review, when you read the journals, articles, books, etc., everything, that you can get the idea from it. So it's very important, because by reviewing the literature, you can get the idea. You can understand that previous people before you what have done, and then also you can understand that what's the new topic, what's the new issue for now that you can investigate it. So literature review is very important. And 2 approach we use for reviewing, okay? The first one is deductive, and the second one is inductive, okay? Deductive develops a conceptual framework from the literature, which is then tested using the data. But in inductive approach, we have explored the data to develop theories, which are then tested against the literature. Okay, in this slide, you see that so we have two types of research, deductive and inductive. Now about deductive. Okay, in deductive research, as you see, first you have a theory, okay? Then from the theory, you come to the hypothesis. And then after hypothesis, you have some observation. And then you confirm the observation and come to conclusion, okay? So it means that from the general thing, that means theory, you narrow down to the conclusion, okay? If your research process like this, that you come from the general, come to the specific, it means that your approach of your research is deductive, okay? But in contrast, if first you have observation, then you have a pattern, and then you have a tentative hypothesis and come to the theory, meaning that your research approach is inductive, okay? Meaning that in inductive approach, you have some specific observation, okay? And then from this specific, you come along to the general thing, meaning that theory. You come to generate the theory. And if you see this slide, you can understand the whole idea, the deductive versus inductive. That means deductive from up to down, but deductive from up to down and inductive from down to up. They are two contrasts, okay? So at this step, maybe you don't know now, exactly at this time, you don't know that which approach do you want to choose. But when you have a topic and you know that what you want to do, then you can understand that your research should be which of this approach of reasoning for your research, okay? All right. I ask you to have this slide always in your mind. It doesn't matter that you memorize it. Just you should know that if you have a theory first, if you choose the whole theory for your research, so of course after that you should create hypothesis and then observation and then confirm it, meaning that you conclude, okay? And if you start your research with observation, it means that you know something that is true, and then you want to make it general, make it as a theory, so you should follow up the process of observation, then pattern, then hypothesis, then theory. Just this slide you should keep in your mind. All right. The critical review, the key process, first is to further refine research question as an objective. So when you review the literature, you can understand better about your research question and research objective. You can discover recommendation for further research, and you avoid repeating work already undertaken. For example, last semester, I have a student also in Afghanistan. So 2 or 3 of them do their research about the situation of agriculture industry in Afghanistan in different areas. One of them in project management, effect on agriculture. The other one, I think, is about process of agriculture and something like this. So this if, for example, one of you want to do the research about the agriculture in Afghanistan, should ask from the rest, should review the last sem work of the student, and be sure that your work is not duplicated, okay? As a whole view, the academic area like this. When you want to start the research, you should know about that before you people what have done, okay? What research have done. Maybe you write the research, but at the end you understand that, okay, the conclusion, the recommendation, the suggestion that you extract from your research is something that, for example, 6 months ago or 1 year ago or 2 years ago somebody else do. So that means the research doesn't have any worth and it's ruined, okay? So it is very important. How can you understand that this is new topic and this is new research? Only by reviewing the literature. So it is very, very, very important part in your research, okay? Because it avoids repeating work already undertaken. And to provide insight into strategies and techniques appropriate to your research objective. This is another important point for why we do literature review. Okay, skills for effective reading is that you should previewing, okay, and annotating, summarizing, comparing, and contrasting. If we only read the journal article literature, it doesn't have any point. You should first read, then you should put the map on the article or whatever that you read. Okay, it means, what do you mean? What am I mean by map? Meaning that you should previewing, summarize, and comparing and contrasting. Put that the note on the literature that why does this researcher or writer do this research, and what does he or she find, and what is the conclusion, and what the effect on your research after you read this article. So what the effect, what the result on your research. Always when you are reading the article and journal, you should think about your topic, okay, and find the relationship between this article and this data and information that given by this literature and your topic and your research. This is very important. Just reading doesn't have any point. So you should have a comparing and contrasting. You should have a summarizing, annotating, and previewing. Okay, prephrases. So the most important skills are the capacity to evaluate what you read and the capacity to relate what you read to other information. So this is the two key points. Evaluate, all right, meaning mapping the article, literature, and the other one is relate. Make the relationship and find the gap between your research, your topic, and the research and topic that you read. So questions to ask yourself, as I mentioned before, why am I reading this? Okay, what is the author trying to do in writing this? How convincing is this? Okay, what use can I make of this reading? This is very important. What use can I make of this reading? Meaning that what is the effect and result of this reading on my research, on my topic? So you will need to include key academic theories, demonstrate current knowledge of the area, use clear referencing for the reader to find the original cited publication, acknowledge the research of others. Because we are doing the research in academic areas, so always we should have a part such as acknowledgement, all right? The other thing that is citation or referencing. This is very important thing, that whatever you use, you should mention in the referencing and citation. Many times I see that a student use the idea of the book or idea of the journal, but they don't mention because they think, okay, they change whole of the sentences and then they don't mention in the referencing. But if you just use the idea or part of the idea, again you should put it in the referencing and citation. This is very, very important because your research is academic research, and in academic research these things is very crucial because very near to plagiarism. So three common structure is a single chapter, a series of chapters throughout the report. So we have many types of literature review structure. I ask you to put your literature review in a single chapter as chapter 2, okay? Not a series of chapters or throughout the report. Because as a this way, it is more simplest, okay? So we use a single chapter for literature review. But if you want, you can do the other two. But I don't suggest you. But if you want, you can do it. You can do it whatever you want with your research, because it is your research, okay? And I can follow you, no problem. The key to critical literature review. Again, I want to mention that demonstrated that you have read, understood, and evaluated your material, link the different ideas to form a cohesive and coherent argument, make clear connection to your research objectives and the subsequent empirical material. So these are the points that I mentioned before, but I put again and again that you can stick in your mind, all right? So categories of literature sources. So for literature, we have three categories. We have three sources: primary, secondary, and tertiary. For primary, we have reports, theses, email, company reports, unpublished things also under primary. For secondary, we have journals, books, newspaper. For tertiary, we have indexes, abstract, catalog, and citation indexes, okay? The thing that I want to mention here that from the tertiary to primary, the increasing level of detail we have. Of course, in primary sources, we have more details, okay? But in contrast, in primary, we have, when we go from primary to tertiary, so increasing time to publish. So if we need to have sudden and quick access the data, we should use the primary sources. But if we have enough time, so we can use the tertiary as well. The literature search strategy. Okay, the parameters of your research, keywords and search terms to be used, database and search engine to be used, criteria for selection of relevant and useful studies, and discuss this with a tutor. All right. So in your literature review, you can put the definition of key term. For example, you can use the you can mention the database and engine that you use it, and for definition of key term, you can also divide it to conceptual and operational. It depends on your research. It depends on the nature of the research. Some research has lots of, definition that it is very specific, it is very technical. So the reader, maybe me as a supervisor, doesn't have any idea about it. So you should clarify and explain all of this part in literature review. Okay, and now we have a question from Mr. Mirwais. He asked that, can we use data and material from unpublished sources? Yes, of course. You see here, this slide. In primary sources, we have published and unpublished. You see, because also we can use unpublished sources, all right? So that means we can access the data quickly. Because of this, when I told you in primary sources, the time to publish is very, very low. So in primary, if we use primary sources, of course we can use unpublished. As I mentioned here also, under the company reports unpublished. Because many times For example, if you are doing the research in terms of financial, all right, you can access the data of, for example, the financial report of the company very privately, and because they don't publish it in everywhere, all right. This means that you use the unpublished report, and yes, it is possible that you use it. Okay, go back to here. All right. So this slide, yeah, I told about it. Okay, the literature search strategy, okay, it's number 2. Define the research parameters, generate keywords, discuss your research, brainstorm ideas, construct relevance trees, use computer software. When you are doing the literature review, you should follow the procedure with yourself. It depends on you. For example, some people, because you know lots of things you read, so if you read and put it on your table, and then read and put on your table, and then at the end you cannot manage them, you cannot arrange all of this information in your research. So during you read the literature, you should use one of these methods to arranging and categorizing, you know, that you can use the information. So maybe you can use computer software. There are some software that they are suitable for literature review. You can upload all of the document and then make the points and then write the comments on them. All of them saved in the software, and they have a search. And if you want to search about the keywords, then it's very easy, all right? So computer software like NVivo, this is a very good software for literature review. The other thing is discuss your research or generate keywords and or define the research parameters. So you should do something that after finish literature reading, you can manage it. Okay. Approaches can include searching tertiary literature sources, obtaining relevant literature, scanning and browsing secondary literature, and searching using the internet. They are very clear. Searching using tertiary literature. Ensure keywords match control index language. Search appropriate printed and database sources. Note precious details used, including search strings. Note the full reference of each search found. All right, so it is also very clear. When you want to search, you should put the word exactly correct, and then the spell and everything, and then also the language should be correct. And at the end of the using the article or journal, the literature, you should have a citation of it, full citation. All right, Mr. Nurzai asked me about the software name to use for research. All right, if I'm not mistaken, you asked about the software that I mentioned for literature review. It's NVivo. All right, I type in check box. Yeah, I wrote it there. I wrote it. This software is very, very good, but I think it has cost because we should buy it. And every year they update it, and there's some procedures. If you can access it and buy it, it's very good, but it's not very easy. And also for using this software, we should attend the class, because it's not easy software, or you should read it through the internet trial or the books. But this is very useful software, and if you want to do the for example, the dissertation or thesis at the PhD level, or something that it is very academic, it is too many pages, too many literature. This software is very suitable. But as a practical one, the research has 70 pages because the cost is too high. So I don't recommend that. If you want to buy this software only for this research that you want to do, the price, I think, quite high. But it depends on you. If you want, you can buy it, no problem. It is very useful and it is very complete. And it's not only for literature review, it is software that manages the whole of your dissertation, include everything, analysis and everything. Okay. This is a slide also I explain. Alright, evaluating the literature, define the scope of your review, assess relevance and value, and assess sufficiency. This is again about evaluate. Make notes for each item you read. Again, I put this slide that you should record it. Biographic details, brief summary of content, and supplementary information. For comment forms, stealing material from another source. Okay, this slide is about plagiarism, okay? Because as I told you, in academic area, plagiarism is very important matter. And always, when the students do the research, always they should check their thesis with the plagiarism software, and then check it that how many plagiarism available in the research or thesis. And I think the good research should be under 30% of plagiarism. This rate of plagiarism should be about 20%, something like this. Above this rate, it means that your research or your thesis had forgot plagiarism and it's ruined. So, if we don't want to have a plagiarism on our research, so follow up this 4 steps. Stealing material from another source. Don't do this. Don't steal the material from another source. Submitting material written by another. So, copying material without quotation marks. Paraphrasing material without documentation. When we do the literature review, there is 2 key points. The first one, that we should put in documentation, citation, and referencing. That's okay. This is very obvious and this is very clear. The other thing, many times we don't want to do plagiarism, and we do referencing and citation, but we forgot to put in the quotation. Here also I mentioned copying material without quotation marks. So if we don't put in the quotation marks, again it means plagiarism. So this is very important also. And in the literature review, when you read something and write, okay, the author, Mr. A, for example, write about this IT idea, and then you cannot finish here. You can continue it with your analysis. Okay, Mr. A write about this idea, and I think that here is correct, here is not correct, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you should review it, you should analyze it, you should rephrase it. You should not just mention that some author told about this idea and then get it away. No, you should analyze it. That means literature review. If you have analyzed after that, meaning that you're reviewing the literature. From Mr. Nurzai, as you mentioned that this slide is useful. I cannot get your point, Mr. Nurzai. What do you mean exactly? Which slide and what do you mean? Okay, the current, all right. So this is like, then what? In this slide, talk about plagiarism. This slide told us that what, yeah, it's about plagiarism. The title, the orange title, can you see the orange title? All right, plagiarism. I put, yeah, don't copy and paste, yeah. Here also you see the, if I use the idea, not copy and paste, but I mention all the cited under my slide. You see? So meaning that you should put everything. If you want to find this word, you cannot find exactly this word in the any other material, all right? But after I read, for example, 2 journals, 2 books, then I come to this idea, meaning that I use them, okay? Meaning that I use the material and books. So I should mention under the slide. So if you don't want to do plagiarism, meaning that you don't do this 4 points. Stealing material, submitting material, copying material without quotation, and paraphrasing material without documentation. Yeah. This is all common forms or types of plagiarism that students do it maybe without any notice, without any information, or a lack of the knowledge, but they don't do the plagiarism, but occasionally they do it, okay? Actually, they do it. So as a summary of chapter 3, it's not chapter 3, it's chapter 2, session 3. A literature search requires 3 main categories of sources. So we talk about the 3 main categories of sources of literature. Clearly define research question and objective. This is the point that we do literature review. Why we do literature review? Because we want to explore our research question and objective, define the parameters of the research, and also you can use the technique for doing the literature review. All right, if you don't have any question, I can present another, I think, 5 slides related to this matter, to this chapter, chapter 3. Okay, any question? All right. Okay, let me share the other slide. Can you see the slide now? All right. Okay, as a general, as a whole idea, what does doing a dissertation involve? A research proposal, a research project, or a thesis? All right, that about the research proposal we talked about before. And the research project is about all activities that go towards completing the dissertation, okay, all activities that help us to complete the dissertation. And a thesis is an argument or proposition supported by evidence or literature. The process of doing a dissertation, as I told you, include 5 phases. All right, phase 1, getting started, meaning that select a topic and why the topic. Why the topic meaning that gives the research objective, research problem, and research question. Okay, by these three we can support that why we choose this topic. And phase 2 that we talk about it today is about writing a critical literature review. And for phase 3, devising research question, meaning that analyzing and collecting data. And phase 4, research process, meaning that analyzing. And phase 5, writing it up, conclusion, recommendation, and suggestion. This slide again give you the idea of 5 chapters or 5 phases of the dissertation with more points. For example, for phase 4 research process, choosing method, collecting and analyzing data. And phase 5, writing up, meaning that material and drawing conclusion and structuring a dissertation. They are also the 5 chapters that with the more details that you can use in your research. Now I remember the question that one of the students, I think Mr. Mirves, asked me last week about the difference between method and methodology, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and then I ask you to be patient, and I will explain for you in next, I think next class that we talk about methodology and method. But here, because again I mention it, just I give you a very abstract difference of these two key terms. All right. The first thing I can tell you that research methodology is wider than method. And exactly today also I asked admin of WWS that changed the subject of my class, because my class is not research method. My class is research methodology. Why? Because research method is only talk about the for example, the method of doing the research. That's all. It means that only talk about the chapter 3 and chapter 4. Which method do you use for your research and how can collect the data and analyze it. That's all. Alright, but research methodology is something that talk about the whole idea of research. I mean, research methodology like a roadmap, alright, that show you the whole way that you can do the research. How can you do the research? So method is under the methodology, alright. Our class is research methodology because we start from the beginning and finish it by the conclusion, and also we talk about research method, but we talk about the whole and general idea of research, thesis, and all chapters. Okay, this is a very, very abstract explanation about difference between method and methodology. And then by next class and maybe next class, we have more explanation and it should be more clear for you. All right. A multi-stage process for choosing your project is identify broad topic and academic discipline, determine the scope, brainstorm issue, question, puzzle, map and structure the issues, conduct a literature review, frame your research question, convert RQ into objectives. So these are all points that I mentioned during the first, second, and today class, but I want to do in the slides and give you more and more details. So if you have any question about them, you can ask. Now this slide talk about identify broad topic and academic discipline. All right. Here you see when you want to choose a topic, first you choose the area, then come to field, and then come to the aspect. All right. It means that you start from the general and come and narrow down to the specific that is should be your topic. So, for example, your area is public relations, all right? The field is advertising, and aspect and topic is corporate identity, okay? So your topic can be the effects of TV advertising on perception of corporate identity. You see the general, and then you come to the narrow. Yes, something like rational. Another example is, for example, area is industrial relations, field is employment law, aspect and topic, the national minimum wage. So your topic can be a comparative study of the effective of the legislation on two industrial sector. This is the example, because I see that up to now I didn't receive any topic from you. So I think maybe you cannot start how you choose your topic. So I put this slide to give you some examples, all right, that from where you should start, from the general, from the area you can start, and then narrow down to the topic. Okay, high quality research. From the beginning, I want to tell you that high quality research, how is it that when you want to do your research, always think about the high quality research. It's based on the work of others. I tell you this point many times, that your work, your research should be based on the previous researchers and previous work, okay? It can be replicated. It is generalizable to other settings. It is based on some logical, rational, and tied to theory. Of course, you should have a theory in your base theory in your research. It is doable, and it generates new questions, or is cyclical in nature. It is incremental. It is a political activity that should be undertaken for the betterment of society. Of course, this point meaning that your research should have some effect on the society. It should have a benefit for others. Without any effect on others and without any benefit, it doesn't have any worth. All right. So then what is bad research? The bad research, the opposite of what has been discussed, meaning that looking for something when it simply is not to be found, plagiarizing other people's work, falsifying data to prove a point, misrepresenting information, and misleading participants. Number 1, 2, 3, 4 is very important, because sometimes we think about our conclusion, but we cannot support it with our data, with our analyzing, with our research review, and then we come to falsifying data. This is not good, because it's not academic, and if you do something like this, the supervisor cannot accept your research. Because in the research, in the thesis, whatever you do, you should support it. When you say one sentence, I will ask you why. Why do you mention this sentence? You cannot tell me that because I think so. No, doesn't mean that because I think so. Because in research, we cannot do something that comes from our brain, something that comes from our idea. We should support everything, all right, with our data, with our observation, and without analyzing and literature review. So this is very important one. Okay, this slide also finished. So Mr. Mevis. Okay. How can I explain? Okay, falsifying, meaning that you mention some idea, you mention some information that is not true. Okay, you tell that some other people, some other researcher and or author mentioned that something that they don't mention never, ever. Okay, this means that you support your idea by falsifying. I don't know, is it clear for you now? Yeah, yeah, something like this. Any other question? Hello? All right. Any other question? Okay. About our class, I sent you the slides, all right? Today's slides also I sent you before. And then another thing that one of the students, I think Mr. Nuzai, asked me to send the slides before starting the class. Okay, I will do it. For next class, I will send it before starting the class, 1 day or 2 days before. And another point is about the book I sent to you. I asked WWS also search and if finds any other book that's in PDF format, because we have books, but the problem is that we don't have a PDF format of the book, so we cannot email to you. This is the problem. So WWS also tried to find the research methodology book in PDF format, and if he can find, then we will email to you. But parallelly, I find one useful PDF book that I read myself. It's a very good book, and I send to you the PDF, the first, I think, 3 chapters, okay? And by tomorrow, I will send the rest of the book, and you can use this book also. It's very good. And it's good if you read the book chapter by chapter, okay, parallelly with your classes. So because this book I think got around 8 or 9 chapters, so it means that for each class, if you read 1 chapter, at the end of the class, the whole book you have read it, okay? So it's very good for you. So because of this, I divided to 2 parts. The first 3 chapters I sent to you today, and then the rest of it also I will send to you, and I ask you to review the slides and the book and read them. And I think because the next class is our 4th class, so I want to say that by end of next class is the line of your choosing the topic, all right? So I ask you to send me your topic by next week, because this is the first step. If you are not sure about your topic, doesn't matter. Just send to me, and then step by step together we can edit your topic and finalize it. But if you don't have anything after 4 class of research methodology, you don't have any idea about your topic, meaning that you cannot finish your research by the deadline. All right. And so this week, I hope I can see your emails, mention the topic, at least your area of your research. You can select the topic in terms of management, but any field and any area of management doesn't matter. So, for example, you can work on marketing field, all right? You can work on strategic management, financing, accounting, anything, but related to management and business, because your certificate is MBA, area, so your thesis should be related to business and management. And business and management is very wide, very wide area. So you can choose any topic under this area, no problem. And if Dr. Mobin, if you want to do the research on health, you should connect the health to the management also. For example, I don't know, it depends on you, but for example, you can talk about healthcare management or something like this that include both management area and health. Mr. Nurza, you asked me about next class. Up to now, I don't have any notice for cancellation of next class. I don't know, is it 8 or no? I have no idea. I didn't check. I haven't checked my calendar. All right. But I think we have a class. If we don't have a class, WWS admin will inform you. But if you want to cancel the class because it is 8, it is another story. You can request from WWS. It not depends on me. If you want, don't have a class and WWS agree, me agree as well, no problem. So if all of you got a problem about the holiday, and next week you want to have a holiday with your family, all right, because it's 8, so you can email to WWS admin and ask them to cancel the class. And if they agree, okay, I have no problem. I can change it to another day, all right? And I can arrange it myself. But the whole idea of cancellation should be arranged with WWS, not from my side. Okay. Health Management Information System. So, Dr. Mobin, Health Management Information System, you mean IS management. Oh, you want to do MIS about health, yeah? As a this way, so, Dr. Mobin, can you hear me? Dr. Mobin, can you hear me? Okay, Dr. Mobin, if I'm not mistaken, So, can you hear me now, Dr. Mobin? Okay, Dr. Mobin, if I'm not mistaken, you want to do MIS, meaning Management Information System, about health. If you want to do this, yes, I'm correct or no? Okay, MIS, Management Information System. If you want to do MIS, so you can attend the research methodology class, okay, the whole classes, no problem. But your supervisor should be the lecturer of MIS. I forgot the name, Mr. Mansurizadeh, I think. Because about IT and IS, I cannot supervise the research, all right? Yeah. If you want to do something about IT, information system, or management information system, MIS, you should talk to Mr. Mansurizadeh, all right, about that he should be your supervisor. So you should arrange with him. I cannot supervise this subject. But if you want to do the research about marketing strategy, strategic management, human resource, or something like this, I can supervise the research. About the accounting and financing also, you should arrange to this, I don't know the name, Aida, I think something like this. I don't know the whole name. Your lecturer, your finance and accounting lecturer. And for marketing also, it depends on you. You can arrange with me or lecturer of marketing. It depends on you, no problem. Yeah, yeah. The lecturer of finance and accounting, I think Miss Alia, if I pronounce correct. Now let me check. Okay, if you want to write a thesis about health management, this is another story. Health management is okay, I can supervise, but information system management, this is another thing. So now I don't know which one do you want to do, MIS or only management? Okay. Health management, what do you mean by health management? Health management in where, in which industry, where? Exactly. It's not a complete topic. Only management. Okay. If you want to do only management, doesn't relate it to information system or information technology, I hope I can supervise, no problem. So this is a good step. Now at least I know that Dr. Mobin wants to do the topic about health management, okay? And so from this step you can start and then you can make it complete by more words, because only health management doesn't have any sense, not completed. So you can complete it and then send to me. All right, good luck. And I hope to see very attractive and interesting subjects this semester. Last semester I have very good subject with Afghan students. I'm satisfied, and I hope this time also I received a very good topic. Yes, if Dr. Mobin, if you'd want to do the health management, inshallah, I will be your supervisor, no problem. So it's better that all of you send me your topic. Then I will tell you that your topic more related to which of us, which of the lecturer, me, marketing lecturer, or for example, financing or accounting lecturer. So at this step, you only think about that, which area have you interest in, okay? And the other thing that you should know that which topic you can access the data, all right? You should choose the topic that you can collect the data. The other important thing, know about this topic that's new and it's interesting, it's attractive, and before this, no one has done it, all right? So these are the points that you should have in your mind when you want to choose the topic. And the better thing that you can do that you can choose your topic, and then step by step we can start from chapter 1. And if you do as this way, so it's very easy for you to do the research. If you do it step by step, chapter by chapter, it's better. This is my idea. But if you don't have enough time now, you can post it at the end of the sem and you do it totally together. But my suggestion for students, do it step by step. Yes, Dr. Mobin, this is a good idea if you do it step by step. Because research, I told you, it's not an assignment. You cannot do it in 2 weeks. Many times when you send the questionnaire, when you want to do an interview, when you want to collect the data and information, it's not depends on you. It depends on the interviewee, and it depends on the people who want to fill up your questionnaire. So it takes time, and you cannot calculate, and you cannot understand and know that how much does it take, all right? Because assignment all depends on you. You want to do it, okay, 1 week you stay at home and do it and finish. But research not like this. Your work depends on many people, depends on interviewing, depends on the people who want to answer your question, depends on supervisor who should check your work step by step, you know. Depends on many items. So it's better if you do it step by step. And after this, when you do it step by step, also you have more time to complete it, to review it, to revise it, and make and then you can have a comment from me and your classmates as well. So these are the points that has doing research step by step. So any question you can ask me now. So about the cancellation of next week, and now you can check with each other. If all of you agree, then you can, one of you can email to WWS admin and ask them to cancel. But I think if you can have the class, it's better that we don't cancel. But if you want, no problem, we can cancel it and replacement. Alright, the 8 finish in which day next week? Started from which day and finish in which day? Alright, if you don't have any question, we can finish our class now. I hope you have a good weekend, and I hope I can receive your topic during this week. If you have any question about a slide, a book, your research, you can contact me through the email or put the message on online MBA group in Facebook. Thank you very much. If you don't have any other question, we can finish the class. Alright, I hope you have a very good week and I receive your topic. Thank you everyone and goodbye.